Gervonta does have a very athletic speed, quick reflex style. So you've got to sort of pressure intelligently. But while I have said in the past, and I still believe this, that Roach doesn't have that special thing, like where he's got really fast hands or really powerful punch.
I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that.
A little bit. Stop.
That lawnmower, that's that.
Lamont Roach seems rattled after seeing Gervonta Davis's intense new training video. Roach admitted that after watching it, he knows he'll need to push himself much harder this time. He said he has to train with more focus and energy. Roach gave Davis credit. He looked sharp, still a tough opponent, and landed the hardest punch in their first fight.
How many rematches that you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, that's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder. If that didn't give me the win, and I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears?
100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night. I don't want people to get it misconstrued or whatever the case may be. He's a hell of a fighter. Hell of an IQ, great punching power, good speed, and a really good boxing ability. A lot of people underrate that. Don't think because of what I did, y'all think y'all can just go in there and think y'all can have the same night, you know what I'm saying, or do the same thing. He still will go upside your head and crack you, and you know what I'm saying, you might end up on the floor. Everybody not built the same, and that's what people getting messed up. He did a whole lot of things that was good in that fight, a whole lot, and I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't as good of a fighter as he was, that would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have steamrolled. Don't get that misconstrued. He's still the guy he is. It's just he ran into a guy that's on the same level.
Gervonta Davis is training hard for the rematch. He's determined to quiet the doubters and show he's still at the top. Focused and driven, he's working harder than ever to fix his past mistakes. His goal is clear: deliver a powerful performance and prove beyond a doubt that he's the better fighter.
Under the bed. Stop.
That lawnmower, that's that. Stop that motherfucker lawnmower.
I made the decision to train in DC because, you know, I haven't been in the coldness in a minute. I haven't even trained in the coldness in a minute, so I feel as though this will help me. I'm from Baltimore. He's not from DC. That's what I learned. I thought he was from DC too.
This time, Gervonta Davis isn't taking any risks. His training camp is all serious business. In new sparring footage, he moves smoothly around the ring. His footwork is clean, his moves sharp, and his reflexes spot on. He's not just showing up, he's training with real purpose. He knows the last fight taught him a lesson. Never take Lamont Roach lightly. Davis isn't just focused, he's fired up. In another video, he's pounding the heavy bag with explosive power. Every punch is thrown with purpose. This isn't just a workout, it's personal. Their first fight left too many questions, and critics had a lot to say. Now Davis is training like a man who wants to leave no doubts. He doesn't just want to win, he wants to dominate. Famous boxing analyst Teddy Atlas has praised Davis for his special skill set. He's impressed by how calm Davis stays in the ring, never rushing or forcing his punches. Instead, Davis studies his opponent and waits for the perfect moment to strike. Atlas says Davis's real strength is his ability to adapt. He can fight up close, from a distance, or in between, and has the power to end a fight at any time. That makes him hard to predict, and even harder to beat. When Davis is focused, Atlas says he's one of the most complete fighters out there.
He's going to try to get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. You know, a lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly closes those gaps. You know, inch by inch, step by step, and then he gets to you.
Despite the controversial draw in Davis's first fight with Roach, Rally Romero still backs him fully. He says Davis is still one of the top pound-for-pound fighters and just had an off night. Romero pointed out that one rough outing doesn't erase everything Davis has achieved. In his eyes, Davis's skills, record, and knockout power still put him ahead of most in the division. With the rematch coming, Romero is confident Davis will bounce back strong and remind the world why he's considered one of the best in the sport.
People want to discredit thing is he's still a pound-for-pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just an off night, or?
Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a night with Cruz. Everyone has a night. It's boxing.
You want to run that back with Cruz or what?
Maybe down the line.
What sets Gervonta Davis apart from most opponents is his natural knockout power. Unlike fighters who rely just on volume or technique, Davis can end a fight with one perfect punch. Experts say he doesn't need to force things. His power becomes dangerous once he finds his rhythm. While Lamont Roach showed sharp skills and poise in their first fight, he doesn't have Davis's explosive finishing power. Many believe that once Davis locks in during the rematch, the pressure and power he brings could be too much for Roach and might end the fight before it goes the distance.
Back because Gervonta Davis is a puncher, so the extra aggression, you have to manipulate it little by little. You know, you have to instigate the extra aggression little by little. You have to get your timing in there. You have to get
my pushback.
And also, this is a southpaw. A southpaw sometimes takes a round or two extra to sort of get their timing, get your distances, because every southpaw is a little bit different. Right now, granted, they know each other. They fought in the amateurs, but it's still a lot of years away. And Gervonta does have a very athletic, speed, quick reflex style. So you've got to sort of pressure intelligently. But while I have said in the past, and I still believe this, that Roach doesn't have that special thing like what he's got really fast hands or a really powerful punch, he still has what I also said in the past, a very good IQ. He's very well trained and very intelligent. His thought process in the ring has a great sense of positioning and a great sense of understanding of where he is in the ring and how to react off that. Could he be a little aggressive, more aggressive? Sure, but you got to keep in mind that you're fighting a puncher who's coming from the southpaw stance and coming from the southpaw athletic angle. Personally, me, especially knowing what has been said about Gervonta behind the scenes for years that nobody brings out, and it kind of brings to light why they keep matching him with 15 and 20 to 1 underdogs. There is a rumor that behind the scenes, the Gervonta, there's a lot of bitch in him. There's a lot of front runner in him. If you push him, he will break, he will fold. It starts to add up because Lamont is from the DC area. They kind of know this. They grew up around him. They fought in the amateurs.
His father, who's his coach, has coached Gervonta in fights.
So that thing sort of comes to light where it's been held back from the public with the limited opposition level that Gervonta's fought most of his career.
Boxer Jaron Ennis shared his take on the fight, saying that while Davis didn't control every round, he was strong early on. Ennis pointed out that Davis landed clean shots and set the pace at the start, something fans often forget. He also said, people talked more about Davis's image than how he actually fought. The rematch is Davis's chance to quiet all that talk and prove why he's still a top-level fighter. For Davis, this fight with Lamont Roach is about more than just winning. It's personal. The draw hurt his pride and raised doubts about where he stands in the sport. He knows his reputation took a hit, and now he's on a mission. Davis is training with unmatched focus because he wants to erase all doubt once and for all.
You know I gotta ask you about fights.
Gervonta Davis draw with Lamont Roach. People looking at it as controversial because of the whole knee. What'd you think of the fight?
It was a great fight. I had it 7-5 Tank, or you can make it a draw. But I feel like Lamont, he did good. He did a great job, actually. I just don't think he did enough to pull it off. And I feel like people was overlooking what Tank was doing in the first 5-6 rounds. He was boxing and frustrating him a little bit. But Lamont, like I said before, Lamont did a great job.
Yeah, some people had it Tank, some people had it draw, some people had it Lamont. Do you think Tank gets a lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being a big name, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah. And I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel as though that he lost, and he didn't, or it was a draw. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still frustrating him and things like that. And I think Tank did a good job. He looked sharp to me. I don't know. People just be talking. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
Davis isn't just looking to beat Roach. He wants to dominate him. He's out to send a clear message and earn back the respect he feels he lost. This fight is about more than revenge. For Davis, it's about proving his legacy is still alive, redeeming himself, and showing the world he's still at the top.
We gotta talk about it. So, Tank officially came out and says that he wants to put this rematch as early as May. Now, if that were to happen, Lamont Roach gets a second time to prove himself. Now, in my personal opinion, his stock has already risen. He is already known, but the fact that he went toe-to-toe with Tank on a decision that ended in a draw, whether he loses this second fight or not won't even matter. Because he's directly in line to go against the Keyshawn Davis, the Shakur Stevensons, and etc., the Devin Haney's, and etc. I can see him moving up and going against a Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia or somebody like that. So many people to fight. Lamont Roach has definitely proven himself. But let's talk about something else. And that is the hairstylist situation. In my humble opinion, I believe she should have been quiet. As a hairstylist, there was nothing for you to say. No fan in boxing was going to look at that and be like, I don't want her braiding my hair. No one would have said that. But she hurt herself when she came out and publicly made multiple claims, got all these receipts that no one asked for, saying, oh, this had no grease or oil in it. No one cares. Nobody even believes it. Sometimes it's best to remain quiet. But you guys let me know in the comments. Should she have remained quiet, or should she have did what she did, which is spoke up? You let me know.
After the first fight, Teofimo Lopez pointed out how some people in boxing seemed to turn their backs on Davis. The draw made some fans wonder if Davis had lost his edge. Lopez said Davis is now fighting not just Roach, but also the public's doubts. The rematch is a chance to prove he's still the real deal, and to win back the faith of fans and critics alike.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but you know, it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
That first fight with Roach was one of the toughest in Davis's career. Roach didn't just hold his own, he gave Davis serious trouble. Fans saw Davis struggle with Roach's timing and reach. Now, the rematch will show if Davis can make the right adjustments, or if Roach simply has his number. Either way, it's a true test of how much Davis has grown and how badly he wants it.
Most notably, I'll just speak about a fight that we just had with Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. My message to Tank after that fight, it was given a draw. A lot of controversy around Tank taking a knee due to hair band in his face or his eyes, so forth and so on, and burning his eyes. And in my opinion, it was a competitive fight. The judges judged it as a draw. A lot of people were saying it was rigged, all these different things, so forth and so on. Whatever it may be, the fight is over.
Davis's trainer shared that they went into the first fight fully aware of Roach's skills. Their strategy was planned, but it just didn't work out the way they wanted. Interestingly, they might not change much for the rematch. Instead, the team plans to sharpen the same game plan and execute it better. That shows they still believe in their original strategy. They just need to do it right this time.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, they don't exist. There's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity,
Speaking of rematches, Jalil Hackett is getting his opportunity again to fight the guy that he had a controversial loss to. It'll be happening in Florida, I think, next week?
March 15th, I think.
Let's talk about it.
I'm rocking a major straight down.
Major.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, how's that rematch look like, and then what's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around, being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily a stoppage is good, but not necessarily.
Henry Garcia had a different perspective. He suggested Davis might have been mentally off during the first fight. Without his longtime trainer Calvin Ford in his corner, Davis may have lost some of his rhythm and focus. Garcia also hinted that personal issues outside the ring could have played a role. For the rematch, Davis will need to be locked in both mentally and physically to get back to his best.
There's no way you could say Tank won. There's no way.
Think that he's diminished in some way, or do you think that just mentally he just wasn't there for the fight?
Well, a little bit of both. His age is catching up to him. His legs aren't there as he used to be, and he switched his trainer. That's could be another factor.
With Barry Hunter being the head trainer and Coach Calvin being outside.
Yeah, but he snapped at Calvin too. So that's there was something going on. I really don't know, and I couldn't really speculate on that because I don't know. But I know that something was bothering Tank because Tank is a good fighter and he's out to hurt you, But hey, Lamont Roach stood his ground, and he did a great job.
One of the most talked about moments from the first fight came in round 9 when Davis dropped to one knee, but the referee didn't call it a knockdown. That sparked a big debate, with many thinking it should have changed the score. The controversy has only added more heat to the rematch. Now fans and experts are hoping for a clear, clean fight that settles everything once and for all.
All right, man. Listen, it's been a couple of days since that Lamont Roach versus Gervonta Tank Davis fight. And look, you fooled me once, okay? I'm gonna let y'all get that. Y'all got that. But come on, man. This was a money fight, clearly, and also clearly Tank lost. I mean, there's no mistaken identity that Roach landed more punches, Tank had a higher percentage, but when we look at the punches and the punching power, it was Lamont Roach 8 rounds to 4. And then if you take in consideration that Tank took that knee, which count as a knockdown. The ref even started counting. I mean, there's nothing even to debate here. If they were tied without them even counting that, if you supposed to have counted that part, he would have actually lost the fight. It's a win for Lamont Roach. Get your bag. Go out there and say you the only person that tied with Tank Davis. But man, if y'all fight, y'all better fight for real, because this, be real, man.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. There's a lot more to come.